Why 90% of New Year's goals fail. And this is going to be a series of the Doug Mindset. So here we go. I'm going to break down some statistics for you guys. 23% of New Year's resolutions fail by the first week. 43% fail by end of January. 90% fail by mid-February. So that's 90% of people that set goals for the new year. They typically fail by middle of February, with the biggest drop-off, or at least the majority of the drop-off, being by the end of January. Only 6 to 8% of people actually achieve their goals. So why is this? Well, there's a couple different reasons. You have lack of habits, it's an all or nothing mindset, and then unrealistic goals. So all or nothing, like you say, I'm going to eat healthy, and then you have one bad day, so that you say, well, I already messed it up, so I'm going to stop. I'm done, not going to keep on trying to do it. It's not really about having one or two bad days, it's about being consistent. So as long as you're consistent, it makes it to where you can achieve this 6 to 8% of actually achieving your goal. So how do I go about my new year? And last year I was able to hit 80% of my goals. I failed on 20%. I'll get into that in a second. But how? I was clear about what goals I wanted to set. I set a system for each goal. I set a consequence for each goal, and I set a reward for each goal. These are my goals for 2026. Not really 100% yet. I'm still working on that. But goals for 2025. So I set a financial goal, and my reward was to get a watch. It's a watch that I've been wanting for about 3 years now. I hit my financial goal, and I got the watch. Another goal was health. I wanted to walk 2 laps with the wife, weather permitting. We actually did that pretty much every single day. And sometimes we did a lot more laps, and sometimes we did other activities. Another goal was I wanted to be down to 1 cup of coffee. I hit that every now and again, but realistically, I probably averaged about 2 cups of coffee a day. So I did not hit that goal. Skills, I wanted to read, and I started reading. My average books, I'd probably say I read 4 or 5 books in my lifetime opposed to last year, and last year I pretty much read that much in 1 month. So I definitely hit that goal. Spelling, still need to work on that. Didn't really do a lot other than reading the books to help out on that. I'm very good at math, numbers, statistics. Spelling, so much, not so much. YouTube video, as if you guys look at my timeline, you'll realize that I actually kind of stopped doing the YouTube video. So it was not consistent. I failed on that one. There's a couple other goals here and there for 2025, but for the most part, I did them all. I achieved 80% of them. I failed on 20% of them. Going into 2026, I'm setting a financial goal, family vacation, which would be the reward, and my consequence would be no family vacation. Health, work out every day with the wife, and then pretty much I'm going to lose my extra allowance that me and her get per week if I do not do this, or she gets to pick. Like maybe I do the dishes or something for a week because I missed it. As vice versa, if she were to miss the goal. It's something that, another thing is accountability really helps out these, telling people what you want to do. That way it's not just you, you're actually holding yourself up, and people are going to ask you how you're doing. I'm going to try the YouTube video again, 1 YouTube video per week. If I don't, I'm going to lose my extra for that week. I'm going to put it into a pot to probably go for the family vacation. Still going to be working on myself and work on self. I'm going to be doing pretty much spelling, and then I'm also going to be reading. I'm going to continue reading books. And then if I do not actually do this year, which I'm really going to try, but if I do not do this, I'm going to pay for lessons. That's going to be the consequence, which will inevitably hit the financial, would hit me financially. So if I got to pay for lessons and stuff, but that's completely okay because I'm investing in myself, so 100% okay with that. And family, I'm going to give each kid one-on-one time, and then the kids get to pick more or less. I'm still trying to come up with a consequence and a reward to that one. And my Be a Doug mentality. I did not achieve this goal 3 times last year. I can remember where I let my emotions get the better of me, or I overreacted, underreacted, and just didn't think of what my decision was gonna mess up or mess me up for long term. I try to think long term, typically 5, 10, 20 years out. And 3 times last year that I can call off that I did not do that. So with that being said, this is kind of what I'm setting up. I'm going to actually post these goals next week. I'm going to have an actual 100% my 2026 goals. I encourage everybody to do that. One big thing is I'm going to have a how. I'm going to be clear about each goal. I'm going to set a system up for each goal to allow me to do that. Wife and I waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work out would be one of the systems that we have to do, and I have to get my workout done before I got to go to work, so that would be a system to start. I'm going to set a consequence. Like I said, wife gets to pick me doing the dishes, whatever she decides. Set a reward, and like last year I hit my financial goal, I got my watch. So if you guys benefit from anything like this, these videos, pass it along. That's how this thing's going to grow. I'm going to continue to do these videos once a week. At least I'm going to try to. If I don't, I'm going to admit my failure at the end of 2026. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope this video helps.